Hello, my name is Taylor Wolf, and today I will be talking about the death penalty. In the beginning of 2014, there were 3,070 inmates in 35 states awaiting execution, according to CNN. While Connecticut, Maryland, and New Mexico eventually abolished the death penalty, it is not retroactive. So this means that those inmates that got the death penalty will not get out of their sentence or their death penalty because their state dropped the death penalty as a whole. They still have to fulfill their end of the deal. Many think that the death penalty should be uniform throughout the entire 50 states. Others think that it should be abolished entirely. So as one can imagine, this can arise some heated discussions. Today I will argue the pros and cons of the death penalty, but ultimately I will explain my stance on the issue and how I feel that the death penalty is necessary in the United States of America. Over the years, a couple of years ago, I actually did a project on the pros and cons of the death penalty. So given my background of the topic, I feel that as though I am informed enough to make an educated decision on my stance regarding the death penalty. So that's what I'm going to do today. This is an important subject to know about due to the fact that it's being debated today, and America has not been able to come to a uniform decision on the subject. This is a pretty heated topic, as I said before, and it can lead to some disagreements, and usually people that stand either they're for or against the topic are pretty serious about where they stand. So it can lead to some passionate discussions. One of my main points, while there are many different pros to the death penalty, the most important factor is that it provides closure for the victims' families, as well as providing a feared punishment for criminals. I think one of the first things that I think of as somebody that is pro death penalty is definitely providing closure for the victims' families. To have a family member be murdered, or to lose somebody very important, lose a loved one, you definitely don't want to see that person live another day. And I personally don't think that they deserve to live on this earth. So I think that's one of the biggest things that comes to mind from a person who is pro-death penalty. And also, just as I said before, providing a feared punishment for criminals. If criminals out there, if they know that the death penalty is an option, obviously I think that they're going to potentially watch what they do, and I mean, it's going to be an intimidating factor for sure. Capital punishment is the ultimate penalty for murderers and provides a peace of mind for the victim's family. Criminals are more feared of the death penalty than they are life in prison, and often spend a lot of time arguing for a longer sentence instead of the death penalty. Quote, each execution deters an average of 18 murders, according to the 2003 nationwide study by professors at Emory University. One of my other main points is actually a con of the death penalty. For those who do not agree with the death penalty, they would argue that it doesn't teach the guilty anything. It increases the risk of killing the innocent and costs taxpayers more money. And it is also hypocritical. Some people believe that it costs more money to keep an inmate in prison and pay for them, and it costs a lot of taxpayers' money to keep them in prison for the duration of their life. But actually, there's been studies that that may not be true, and it actually may cost more money to fight these battles in the legal system. A punishment is supposed to teach the wrongdoer a lesson. However, this punishment teaches them nothing. Also, many criminals have been found guilty on false evidence or unfair reasoning, and the death penalty increases the likelihood of killing wrongly convicted individuals. So this technically means that, if somebody's proven guilty, there's a chance that they're still innocent, and if they're executed, that means that they would be taken of their life in an unfair manner. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, studies have uniformly and conservatively shown that a death penalty trial costs $1 million more than one in which prosecutors seek life without parole. According to a Forbes article, a report by New Jersey Police Perspectives found that, quote, New Jersey taxpayers over the last 23 years have paid over $250 million on a capital punishment system that has actually never executed anybody. Lastly, it is hypocritical to criticize the practice of murder by committing the very same act and executing somebody. People that are against the death penalty actually believe that if a murder kills somebody, if they in turn are put up for the death penalty and they are executed, that's just hypocritical, and people will feel that that person is dying of the same crime that they've committed, and that's just not the right thing to do. So it is in my opinion that the death penalty should be legal in all 50 states. I think the biggest thing, first and foremost, is that if it's going to be an option, I think that it should be uniform across the 50 states, and certain states shouldn't have their decision on whether they want to have the death penalty or not. I think it should be the same throughout the entire country. Certain crimes require the ultimate punishment, and I believe that crime as severe as murder should be a reason for the criminal to no longer be living on this earth. Capital punishment does not have to be cruel, and it is a deterrent of future crimes. Modern American executions rarely go wrong, but the reported accidents since 1976 are only 10 nationwide out of approximate 1,400, according to Listverse. In conclusion, this is a very controversial topic, as I said earlier in my speech, and it definitely has pros and cons, and definitely the people that are pros and the people that are cons feel very passionate about where they stand on this topic. Due to my beliefs, in my research that I've done on this topic, I still stand pretty strong as being pro-death penalty, and as I said before, there's definitely good information on both sides of the spectrum here, but after my lengthy research, I definitely still side with where I was going into making this speech for this class. And I'm going to end on a cool fact. I found that Japan is the only industrial democracy besides the United States that has the death penalty. So that is my speech. Thanks for listening. Again, my name is Taylor Wolf, and thanks for watching.